self-love the key to attracting your soulmate? Have you ever wondered why some people spend years searching for love, only to end up in the same painful relationships over and over again? They change partners, change cities, change dating apps, and even change themselves. Yet the love they long for still seems just out of reach. What if the greatest obstacle isn't the world around them, but the relationship they have with themselves? The truth is both simple and life-changing. The love you are searching for begins within you. Your soulmate is not drawn to your desperation, your fear of being alone, or your constant need for validation. They are drawn to the energy you radiate, the confidence you embody, and the peace you carry in your heart. Before you can experience extraordinary love with another person, you must first experience extraordinary love with yourself. Self-love is not selfish. It is not arrogance. It is not believing you are better than anyone else. Self-love is recognizing your own value even when no one applauds you. It is choosing yourself without guilt. It is speaking kindly to yourself after making mistakes. It is setting healthy boundaries, protecting your peace, and refusing to accept anything less than the love and respect you deserve. The moment you truly embrace yourself, something incredible begins to happen. Your standards rise, your confidence grows, your fears begin to dissolve, and the people you attract begin to change. Many people believe their soulmate will finally make them feel complete. But no one can permanently fill a void that only self-love can heal. A soulmate is not meant to rescue you from loneliness. They are meant to walk beside the person you have already become. The strongest relationships are not built by two incomplete people searching for someone to fix them. They are created by two whole individuals who choose to share their already fulfilling lives. Today, we're going to uncover one of the most powerful truths about love. Self-love is the foundation of soulmate attraction. We'll explore how healing your heart transforms your relationships, why your inner beliefs shape the people you attract, how confidence becomes your greatest magnet, and why trusting your own journey opens the door to the love you've always desired. So, if you've ever questioned your worth, wondered when true love will find you, or felt like you've been waiting forever for the right person, this message is for you. Because your soulmate isn't simply looking for someone to love, they're looking for someone who already knows how to love themselves. And that journey begins today with the most important relationship you will ever have, the relationship with yourself. The greatest mistake many people make in their search for a soulmate is believing that love exists somewhere outside of them, waiting to be discovered in another person. They spend years hoping that one special relationship will erase their loneliness, heal their insecurities, and finally make them feel complete. But the truth is far more empowering than that. The love you are searching for has never been missing. It has simply been waiting for your attention. Before another person can truly recognize your worth, you must first recognize it yourself. Before someone can love you deeply, you must learn to love yourself sincerely. This is not because you have to earn love, but because the relationship you have with yourself shapes the way you experience every other relationship in your life. The way you speak to yourself becomes the standard for how others speak to you. The way you value yourself becomes the standard for what you are willing to accept. The way you care for your own heart determines the kind of love you naturally welcome into your world. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not enough, that inner belief quietly influences your choices, your expectations, and even the people you are drawn toward. But when you begin to believe that you are worthy of respect, kindness, loyalty, and genuine affection, your entire reality starts to shift, because your decisions begin to reflect that belief. Imagine standing in front of a mirror every morning. What do you see? More importantly, what do you say to yourself? For many people, the harshest critic they will ever meet is the voice inside their own mind. It reminds them of every mistake, every rejection, every failure, and every heartbreak. It convinces them that they need someone else to prove they are lovable. But imagine replacing that voice with compassion. Imagine looking at yourself and saying, I am worthy exactly as I am. I deserve healthy love. I am enough without needing anyone's permission. These are not empty words. They are seeds planted into the subconscious mind, and every thought you nurture eventually grows into the experiences you live. When your inner conversation changes, your outer life begins to reflect that transformation. Confidence is not created by external praise. It is created by internal acceptance. Peace is not found in another person's approval. It is found in your own willingness to embrace who you already are. Many people unknowingly chase love from a place of lack. They believe that happiness will begin when someone chooses them, texts them back, commits to them, or finally says, I love you. But love built on need often becomes fear. It fears rejection. It fears abandonment. It fears losing the very thing it depends upon. Genuine self-love changes that dynamic completely. Instead of saying, I need someone to complete me, you begin to say, I am already whole, and I desire someone to share this beautiful life with. That single shift transforms everything. You no longer settle for relationships that drain your energy. You stop chasing people who give you mixed signals. You stop confusing inconsistency with excitement and emotional struggle with passion. Instead, you become naturally drawn to relationships built on mutual respect, honesty, emotional safety, and genuine partnership. Think of yourself as a magnet. A magnet does not run after what belongs to it. It attracts according to its nature. In the same way, your inner state quietly influences what you invite into your life. When you carry confidence, gratitude, emotional stability, and self-respect, you become more likely to recognize and welcome people who embody those same qualities. This is not about pretending to be perfect or denying life's challenges. It is about refusing to define yourself by your wounds. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not have to control your future. Every disappointment can become wisdom. Every heartbreak can become strength. Every lesson can become preparation for a healthier love than you once believed possible. Self-love is also expressed through action. It is choosing habits that nourish your body instead of punish it. It is protecting your peace instead of constantly seeking approval. It is saying no without guilt when something compromises your well-being. It is celebrating your progress instead of comparing yourself to someone else's journey. It is forgiving yourself for not knowing yesterday what you know today. Every act of self-respect sends a powerful message to your subconscious: I matter. And when you truly believe that you matter, you naturally stop accepting relationships that suggest otherwise. One of the most beautiful things about self-love is that it frees you from desperation. You stop measuring your worth by your relationship status. You stop believing that being single means being incomplete. Instead, you begin to see this season as an opportunity to become the very person you have been hoping to meet. If you desire kindness, become kind. If you desire loyalty, become loyal. If you desire honesty, practice honesty. If you desire emotional maturity, cultivate it within yourself. In becoming the qualities you seek, you prepare yourself for a relationship that is based not on fantasy, but on genuine compatibility and shared values. Remember this powerful truth. Your soulmate is not searching for a mask, a performance, or a version of you that constantly seeks approval. They are searching for someone who has the courage to be authentic, someone who knows their own value, someone who has learned that love is not something to beg for, but something to share. The greatest love story you will ever write begins long before another person enters your life. It begins the moment you decide that you are worthy of the same patience, compassion, forgiveness, and devotion that you are so willing to give to others. When you become the love you have been searching for, you no longer chase love in fear. You attract it from a place of abundance, confidence, and inner peace. And that is where the journey toward your soulmate truly begins. One of the most important truths about attracting your soulmate is this: you cannot consistently create peace in your outer relationships while carrying unresolved chaos within yourself. Many people believe the right person will magically erase the pain of the past. They hope a soulmate will heal old heartbreaks, replace painful memories with happy ones, and fill every emotional void they have been carrying for years. While genuine love can certainly support healing, it should never become the substitute for it. Healing is an inside job. It begins the moment you decide that your past will no longer have the final say over your future. Every disappointment, betrayal, rejection, or loss has the power to leave an emotional imprint if it is never acknowledged. Those hidden wounds quietly influence your expectations, your reactions, and the people you are naturally drawn toward. That is why two people can experience the same relationship yet walk away with completely different beliefs about love. One person may believe love is beautiful and worth pursuing, while another may conclude that love always ends in pain. The difference is not simply what happened to them, it is how they chose to heal from what happened. Your inner world is like the foundation of a house. No matter how beautiful the walls, the windows, or the decorations may appear, if the foundation is cracked, the structure will eventually begin to weaken. Relationships work the same way. You can meet someone kind, loyal, and emotionally available, but if you are still carrying fear from previous experiences, you may struggle to trust them. You may question their intentions, overanalyze their words, or expect abandonment even when they have given you no reason to doubt them. Not because they are untrustworthy, but because your heart is still responding to yesterday's pain instead of today's reality. Healing allows you to separate the past from the present. It teaches you that not everyone deserves to pay for the mistakes someone else made. Your soulmate should never have to fight against ghosts they never created. They deserve to meet the healed version of you, the version that has learned from pain without becoming imprisoned by it. Many people carry invisible emotional baggage without realizing it. They replay old conversations, relive painful endings, and repeatedly ask themselves why they were not enough for someone who walked away. Yet the answer is rarely found in self-blame. Sometimes relationships end because they have fulfilled their purpose. Some people enter your life to teach you boundaries. Others teach you resilience. Some reveal your strengths, while others expose the places where healing is still needed. Every experience has value if you choose to grow from it, instead of allowing it to define you. Your scars do not make you less worthy of love. They are reminders that you survived, learned, and continued moving forward. The goal is not to erase your past, but to transform it into wisdom. Healing also requires forgiveness, and forgiveness is often misunderstood. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain never happened. It does not mean excusing betrayal, accepting disrespect, or inviting harmful people back into your life. Forgiveness is the decision to stop allowing yesterday's pain to control today's peace. It is choosing freedom over resentment. Holding on to anger is like carrying a heavy weight on a long journey. Eventually, it exhausts the person carrying it far more than the person who caused the pain. When you forgive, you are not saying that what happened was acceptable. You are saying that your future is too valuable to remain chained to the past. You reclaim your emotional energy and redirect it toward creating the life and relationships you truly deserve. Healing also means becoming aware of the stories you tell yourself. If you constantly repeat, "Everyone leaves me," "Love never works out," or "I always attract the wrong people," those beliefs begin shaping your expectations. Your mind naturally searches for evidence to confirm what it already believes. But imagine replacing those stories with empowering ones. Imagine saying, "Every experience is preparing me for healthy love. I am worthy of commitment. I attract relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual growth." These beliefs do not ignore reality. They help create a healthier one by changing the lens through which you experience life. Your thoughts influence your emotions influence your actions, and your actions influence the relationships you build. Transformation begins with the beliefs you choose to nurture every single day. Healing your inner world also means learning to enjoy your own company. Solitude is not loneliness when your heart is at peace. There is tremendous strength in becoming comfortable with yourself. Spend time discovering what inspires you, what brings you joy, and what makes you feel alive. Pursue your passions, deepen your faith, strengthen your character, and create a life that feels meaningful whether you are in a relationship or not. Ironically, the less you depend on another person to create your happiness, the more naturally you become someone capable of sharing genuine happiness with another. A soulmate is not attracted to perfection. They are attracted to authenticity. They are drawn to someone who has learned to stand confidently in their own identity. As your healing deepens, your standards naturally rise. You begin recognizing the difference between attention and genuine affection, between temporary excitement and lasting compatibility, between emotional intensity and emotional security. You stop mistaking inconsistency for romance or emotional games for passion. Instead, you value honesty, consistency, kindness, communication, and mutual respect. Your heart becomes wiser because your wounds have become teachers rather than permanent residences. Never underestimate the power of a healed heart. It loves without losing itself. It trusts without becoming naive. It gives without abandoning its boundaries. It remains open without ignoring wisdom. The journey toward your soulmate is not simply about finding the right person. It is equally about becoming emotionally ready to receive the love you have been praying for. Every step you take toward healing is a step closer to the relationship your heart truly deserves. When your inner world is filled with peace instead of fear, hope instead of bitterness, and self-respect instead of self-doubt, you naturally create the space where lasting love can enter, flourish, and remain. Everything you communicate to the world begins long before you speak a single word. Your presence, your attitude, your beliefs about yourself, and the quiet energy you carry into every room tell a story that others can sense almost immediately. This is why two people with similar talents, appearances, or backgrounds can experience completely different results in their relationships. One constantly attracts respect, loyalty, and genuine affection, while the other repeatedly encounters inconsistency and emotional disappointment. The difference often lies in self-worth. When you truly know your value, you no longer seek constant reassurance from others because you have already given yourself the approval you once searched for. Confidence born from self-love is not loud, arrogant, or attention-seeking. It is calm, it is secure, it is the quiet certainty that you deserve to be loved with honesty, kindness, and respect, simply because your worth is not determined by another person's opinion. Many people spend years trying to become more attractive on the outside, while neglecting the relationship they have with themselves on the inside. They believe that changing their appearance, achieving greater success, or gaining more recognition will finally make them worthy of lasting love. While there is nothing wrong with improving yourself, external changes can never permanently replace inner confidence. A person who doubts their worth will often continue searching for proof that they are enough, even after receiving compliments, affection, or commitment. On the other hand, someone who genuinely values themselves does not depend entirely on outside validation to feel secure. They appreciate love when it comes, but they do not lose themselves in the process of receiving it. Their identity remains rooted in something deeper than temporary circumstances. They understand that confidence is not about pretending to have no fears. It is about refusing to allow fear to define the choices they make. Think about the energy you bring into relationships. Do you arrive expecting rejection, or do you approach love with openness and trust? Do you believe you must convince someone to stay, or do you believe the right person will naturally appreciate who you are? Your expectations quietly influence your experiences. If you constantly expect disappointment, you may unknowingly interpret neutral situations as signs that history is repeating itself. A delayed message becomes evidence that someone is losing interest. A simple misunderstanding becomes proof that the relationship is falling apart. But when your confidence grows, your perspective changes. You stop assuming the worst because your emotional security no longer depends on constant reassurance. You respond with patience instead of panic, clarity instead of confusion, and peace instead of fear. This emotional stability becomes one of your greatest strengths because healthy relationships thrive where trust is stronger than insecurity. Raising your vibration is not about denying difficult emotions or pretending life is perfect. It is about consciously choosing thoughts, habits, and attitudes that align with the life you want to create. Every day presents an opportunity to strengthen your mindset. Gratitude reminds you of the abundance already present in your life. Compassion helps you release resentment that weighs down your spirit. Hope keeps your vision focused on possibilities instead of limitations. Self-discipline allows you to remain committed to your growth even when progress feels slow. These daily choices gradually reshape your emotional landscape. Instead of operating from fear, scarcity, and self-doubt, you begin living from confidence, appreciation, and expectation. As your inner world changes, your interactions with others naturally become healthier and more authentic. One of the clearest signs that your self-worth is growing is that you stop chasing people who have already shown you they are unwilling to meet you halfway. You realize that love should never require you to beg for attention, compromise your values, or sacrifice your peace of mind. Instead of exhausting yourself trying to earn someone's affection, you begin investing that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. You focus on your health, your purpose, your friendships, your dreams, and your personal growth. Ironically, this shift often makes you far more attractive because confidence has a magnetic quality that cannot be manufactured. People are naturally drawn to individuals who radiate authenticity, emotional balance, and genuine joy. There is also tremendous power in the way you speak to yourself. Your inner dialogue becomes the soundtrack of your life. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are unworthy, unattractive, or destined to be alone, those beliefs slowly shape your reality by influencing your decisions and expectations. But imagine beginning each day with a different message. Remind yourself that you are valuable. Tell yourself that you deserve healthy communication, mutual respect, and unwavering honesty. Affirm that you are growing stronger, wiser, and more emotionally prepared for lasting love. These words are not meant to ignore reality. They are meant to transform it by replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Every encouraging thought strengthens the foundation of self-worth upon which healthy relationships are built. Confidence also means embracing your authentic self instead of constantly comparing yourself to others. Comparison steals joy because it convinces you that someone else's journey somehow diminishes your own. The truth is that your uniqueness is one of your greatest gifts. Your personality, experiences, strengths, and even the challenges you have overcome have shaped you into someone unlike anyone else. Your soulmate is not searching for a copy of someone else. They are searching for the real you. The more comfortable you become expressing your true thoughts, values, dreams, and emotions, the easier it becomes for the right person to recognize and appreciate you. Authenticity creates connections that pretending never can. As your confidence grows, your standards naturally rise. You become more patient because you understand that temporary loneliness is far better than settling for a relationship that lacks respect or sincerity. You stop fearing the waiting season because you recognize it as preparation rather than punishment. Every day spent strengthening your character, deepening your self-love, and expanding your vision is another step toward becoming emotionally ready for the relationship you desire. You begin to understand that attracting your soulmate is not merely about finding someone who loves you. It is about becoming someone who is fully capable of receiving, nurturing, and sustaining that love. Remember this powerful truth. The energy you carry today is quietly shaping the relationships you experience tomorrow. Choose thoughts that build you rather than break you. Choose habits that strengthen your confidence rather than weaken it. Choose faith over fear, gratitude over lack, and self-respect over self-doubt. When you consistently raise your vibration through self-worth and confidence, you stop searching for someone to tell you that you are enough. You already know it, and it is from that place of inner certainty that the deepest, healthiest, and most fulfilling soulmate connection can naturally unfold. One of the most transformative shifts you can make on the journey toward attracting your soulmate is to stop living as though love is missing from your life. Too many people postpone their happiness until someone special arrives. They tell themselves, I'll feel complete when I find the right person, or my real life will begin when I'm finally in a loving relationship. But when you build your happiness around a future event, you unintentionally convince yourself that something essential is absent in the present. The truth is that love is not something you wait to receive. It is something you choose to embody every single day. When you begin living as though love already fills your heart, you stop operating from desperation and start radiating fulfillment. That inner fulfillment changes the way you think, the way you act, and the kind of people you naturally attract into your life. Imagine waking up every morning with the deep belief that your life is already meaningful. You no longer measure your value by your relationship status or compare your journey to someone else's. Instead, you appreciate the opportunities before you, the lessons you are learning, and the person you are becoming. You begin treating yourself with the same tenderness, patience, and kindness that you hope to receive from your future soulmate. You celebrate your victories, forgive your mistakes, and speak to yourself with compassion instead of criticism. This simple change creates a profound emotional shift because your heart is no longer waiting for permission to feel love. It already knows love from within. Many people unknowingly send a message of lack into their daily lives. They constantly focus on what they do not have instead of appreciating what they do. Every conversation becomes centered on loneliness. Every thought revolves around waiting, and every day feels incomplete because they are looking toward tomorrow instead of embracing today. Yet gratitude has the power to transform your perspective. When you become thankful for your health, your family, your friendships, your personal growth, your dreams, and even the quiet moments of solitude, your heart begins to experience abundance instead of scarcity. Gratitude reminds you that your life is already rich with blessings. From that place of appreciation, you become emotionally available to receive even greater joy. Living as though love already exists within you also means creating a life that excites and fulfills you. Pursue the goals that ignite your passion. Learn new skills that expand your confidence. Read books that challenge your thinking. Travel when opportunities arise. Develop meaningful friendships. Invest in your physical health, your emotional well-being, and your spiritual growth. Build a life so full of purpose that a relationship becomes a beautiful addition to your happiness rather than the sole source of it. Ironically, this is often when love appears most naturally. People are drawn to those who have a genuine sense of purpose because purpose creates confidence, and confidence creates emotional stability. There is something incredibly attractive about a person who enjoys their own company. They do not fear solitude because they have learned to use it as a season of growth rather than a sentence of loneliness. They understand that being alone and feeling alone are not the same thing. Solitude can become a classroom where character is strengthened, dreams are clarified, and self-awareness deepens. Instead of viewing this season as empty, they recognize it as preparation. Every day becomes an opportunity to become more patient, more compassionate, more disciplined, and more emotionally mature. These qualities do not simply prepare them for a soulmate, they improve every area of their lives. Living from love also changes the way you treat other people. When your heart is full, generosity becomes natural. Kindness flows without expectation of reward. You encourage others because you are no longer competing with them. You celebrate someone else's happiness because you trust that your own blessings are not diminished by another person's success. This mindset frees you from jealousy, comparison, and resentment. It allows you to move through life with openness rather than fear. Healthy love grows best in hearts that have already learned how to give without constantly worrying about what they might lose. Another important part of living as though love already exists within you is trusting the timing of your journey. Society often pressures people to believe they are behind if they are still single, while others appear to be settling down. But life is not a race. Every person's journey unfolds according to different lessons, different experiences, and different seasons of growth. Comparing your timeline to someone else's only steals your peace. Instead, trust that every delay may be preparing you for something greater than you can currently see. Sometimes the waiting season is protecting you from relationships that would have distracted you from becoming the person you are meant to be. Sometimes it is giving you the wisdom that will help you recognize the right person when they finally arrive. When you live with this kind of faith, your daily choices begin to reflect your expectation of good things. You care for yourself because you believe you are valuable. You protect your peace because you know your emotional well-being matters. You refuse to settle for unhealthy relationships because you trust that genuine love does not require you to betray yourself. Instead of chasing every opportunity for affection, you patiently allow connections to develop naturally, knowing that what is truly meant for you will never require you to abandon your dignity. Remember that your soulmate is not searching for someone whose life is empty and waiting to be rescued. They are searching for someone whose heart is alive, whose spirit is hopeful, and whose life already reflects the qualities of the relationship they desire. They are looking for someone who has learned to smile without needing constant validation, someone who has discovered peace in the present, and someone who understands that love is not created by possession, but by connection. When two people who have already learned to love themselves come together, they do not complete one another, they complement one another. Their relationship becomes an expression of the fullness they already carry, rather than an attempt to fill emotional emptiness. So live today as though love has already found a home within you. Laugh freely, dream boldly, forgive quickly, serve generously, and embrace every opportunity to grow. Fill your days with gratitude, your mind with hope, and your heart with peace. The more completely you live from a place of love instead of longing, the more naturally you become aligned with the relationship you have been waiting for. Your soulmate is not simply attracted to the future version of you. They are drawn to the person you choose to become today. One of the greatest challenges on the journey toward finding your soulmate is learning how to wait without losing hope. In a world that celebrates instant results, waiting can feel frustrating. We are taught that if something has not happened yet, something must be wrong. When months turn into years, it is easy to question your worth, compare your life to others, or wonder if lasting love is meant for you at all. But what if the waiting season is not a sign of denial? What if it is a season of preparation? What if every day that passes is quietly shaping you into the person who will not only attract your soulmate, but also build a relationship strong enough to last a lifetime? The greatest love stories are rarely created by chance alone. They are built by two people who have grown individually before they were brought together. Trusting divine timing means believing that life is unfolding with purpose, even when you cannot yet see the complete picture. Many people become so focused on the destination that they forget the value of the journey. They count the days until they meet the right person, believing happiness is waiting somewhere in the future. Yet every day you spend becoming wiser, stronger, kinder, and more emotionally balanced is a day that prepares you for the relationship you desire. Think of a tree planted deep in the earth. For a long time, very little appears to happen above the surface. Yet beneath the ground, the roots are growing stronger, spreading wider, and preparing to support future growth. Without those hidden roots, the tree could never withstand the storms that will eventually come. Your life works in much the same way. The growth happening within you today may not always be visible to others, but it is creating the emotional strength, wisdom, patience, and resilience that lasting love requires. Trusting divine timing also means releasing the belief that you have somehow fallen behind. It is easy to look around and see friends getting married, starting families, or celebrating anniversaries while wondering why your own story seems to be unfolding more slowly. Comparison, however, is one of the quickest ways to rob yourself of joy. Every life follows a unique path. Some lessons can only be learned through waiting, while others are discovered through experience. The fact that someone else's chapter looks different from yours does not mean your story is any less beautiful. A delayed blessing is not necessarily a denied blessing. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually protection. There may be people you were certain were meant for you, only to later realize that their absence made room for something far healthier. Looking back, many people discover that unanswered prayers were often hidden acts of grace. As you wait, Focus your attention on becoming your highest self, rather than obsessing over when your soulmate will arrive. Becoming your highest self does not mean becoming perfect. Perfection is an impossible standard. It means becoming more authentic each day. It means choosing integrity even when no one is watching. It means strengthening your character, expanding your compassion, developing emotional maturity, and living according to your deepest values. It means taking responsibility for your own happiness instead of expecting another person to carry that responsibility for you. A healthy relationship is not built on two people rescuing one another from emptiness. It is built on two individuals who have already learned to stand confidently on their own and who choose to walk forward together. This season of preparation is also an opportunity to deepen your trust. Instead of worrying about every unanswered question, learn to appreciate the opportunities already before you. Build meaningful friendships. Invest in your family. Pursue your dreams with passion. Continue learning, growing, serving, and discovering the unique gifts you have to offer the world. Your purpose extends far beyond your relationship status. When you live a life filled with purpose, your heart becomes naturally attractive because purpose creates joy, and joy has a way of drawing people toward you. The more fulfilled you become in your own life, the less pressure you place on a future relationship to provide everything you feel is missing. Another important lesson in trusting divine timing is learning to release control. We often want to know exactly when,
Where?
and how love will arrive. We try to predict every outcome, analyze every interaction, and force situations that are not meant to be. But love cannot be manipulated into lasting. Genuine connection grows best when it is allowed to unfold naturally. There is peace in recognizing that you do not need to chase every opportunity or force every relationship. What is truly aligned with your life will not require you to abandon your values, sacrifice your self-respect, or ignore obvious warning signs. Trust gives you the confidence to walk away from what is wrong, because you believe something better is possible. As you continue becoming your highest self, your standards naturally evolve. You stop being impressed by temporary charm and begin valuing consistency, honesty, loyalty, emotional intelligence, and mutual respect. You recognize that lasting love is built through daily choices rather than dramatic moments. You become more patient because you understand that quality is infinitely more valuable than speed. Waiting for the right relationship is far wiser than rushing into one that compromises your peace. Every experience has taught you something, and every lesson has refined your ability to recognize the kind of love that truly aligns with your values. Never forget that your soulmate is also on a journey. Just as you are growing, healing, learning, and preparing, they may be doing the very same. Their life is unfolding through its own seasons of challenge and transformation. When the time is right, your paths may cross not because of coincidence alone, but because both of you have become emotionally ready to create something meaningful together. Until then, continue becoming the person you would be proud to meet. Continue choosing love over fear, gratitude over complaint, faith over doubt, and growth over comfort. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small, because every step is shaping the future you are creating. Remember this above all else. Your worth has never been determined by how quickly love arrives. You are already complete, already valuable, and already deserving of a relationship rooted in trust, respect, and genuine affection. Trust the timing of your life. Trust the lessons of your journey. Trust the growth taking place within you. And most importantly, trust that as you continue loving yourself, healing your heart, raising your standards, and becoming your highest self, you are not simply waiting for your soulmate. You are becoming the kind of person who can recognize, receive, and cherish the extraordinary love that awaits. When that moment finally comes, you will understand that every season of preparation had a purpose, and every step of the journey was leading you exactly where you were meant to be.